Pakistani state proposes making marriage compulsory at 18 and fines for unmarried children. I would like, what's in the title? I was going to make you guys guess what state this happened in Pakistan. And the good old state of Sindh. So a draft of the, quote, Sindh Compulsory Marriage Act of 2021 was submitted to the Sindh Assembly Secretariat on May 26th. A draft stated that the parents of an adult who remains unmarried after turning 18 would have to submit, quote, an undertaking with justified reason of delay before the deputy commissioner of the district. A failure to do so will result in the parents having to pay 500 rupees. The bill's defenders claim it is an effort to bring well-being to society. According to the law, the obstacles in marriages, such as unemployment and high costs, are the results of distancing oneself from Islamic teachings. MPA Syed Abdul Rasheed stated that to make the process of marriage easier, the government should ban dowry and add standard procedures regarding weddings to the bill. So I saw this news and I was like, okay, we have to cover this. So I had a suspicion this had something to do with the I think it's fair to say an epidemic of child kidnapping, child rape, and child marriage in Sindh province. It is one of I think it is one of the highest rates of where that type of event happens in the world is in this state, even though that there are many laws on the books to prevent it. And turns out I had a good inclination because in a video statement released after the submission of the proposed bill, he said, this Rasheed MP, said that, quote, societal ills, child rapes, immoral activities, and crimes were rising in the country. Quote, to control all of this, according to the Shariat of Prophet Muhammad and Islamic teachings, Muslim males and females have been given the right to marry after attaining a puberty or after the ages of 18. And fulfilling this is the responsibility of their guardians, especially their parents. So they are explicit in saying that this is that the problems of child rapes and kidnapping rising in the country is a motivation for this bill.
Yeah, this is, I was going to say, but somebody already highlighted it in the live chat. This is basically Sindh in Pakistan telling Uttar Pradesh in India to hold its beer every time it does something crazy. Like when that needs to be a meme. Every time Uttar Pradesh does something extremely crazy and we're like, what the hell is wrong with Uttar Pradesh? Sindh is like, haha, you think that's crazy? Watch this. Like, God damn it, man. Like, seriously. But yes, so is this like really a religious thing, or is this more them reacting? I mean, how much of this can be blamed on religion?
They are very specific about this being an Islamic thing. They couldn't be more clear. He literally says to control all of this according to the Sharia of Prophet Muhammad and Islamic teachings. You've been given the right to be married after puberty or at 18. So you should be. And then they continue. He says that the obstacles in the ways of marriage, such as unemployment and high costs, were a result of distancing from Islamic teachings. If we follow Islamic teachings, a lot of ease and blessings will descend upon the family, he added. So in terms of this obstacle of unemployment, he was also saying this is it was a problem that society's tendency towards competition has spoiled a lot of legal and correct ways. I believe that after 18 years of age, if there is a reason for not marrying, parents should submit an affidavit with a commitment of the time of that the person would be married off.
Okay. All right.
This is so authoritarian, and it reeks of like CCP intervention into people's private lives as well, you know, and the idea also tells you that the people who are getting married are not the ones who have the choice or It's not their decision. It's the parents who are in charge of your own marriage as well, because they're going to fine your parents, or the parents have to submit an affidavit as to why the individual isn't married. So it takes away all the rights of an individual to choose their partner. And then it also forces them to for the parents to choose a partner for them or suffer a fine. I mean, it is so heavy-handed. I almost don't even have words for the ridiculousness of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is just a dumpster fire waiting to happen. There's lots of sociological data that shows that the longer you wait to get married and the longer you wait to have children, the more likely you are to have a successful marriage and more successful, happier, more the well-being of your children will be greater. And like being mandated to marry at 18, most people don't even know who they are at the age of 18. Like, you're not even a fully formed person. Like, I remember when I was, honestly, I still feel this way. For a while, I was very firm about saying, I don't even think people should be allowed to have kids until you're 25. But I thought this was absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, I do support banning dowry. Like, that would be cool, but can we do it in a completely different way that isn't like even more authoritarian and worse, please? I think it's also just ridiculous that they think that this is the way to go about assisting the state and community with the child rape and kidnapping problem.
Also, he mentions economics, he mentions all these things. So then, rather than come up with actual policy to address some of the concerns in the state, instead they rely on Islamic teachings and authoritarian heavy-handedness to force people to do something that there's no data that proves it's going to change the economic system, or it, I mean, it is just it's just ick. It's creepy. It makes me feel gross.
Yeah. Kenji has a very good point. He's like, this is very similar to the incel mentality of state mandated girlfriends.
Wow. You know what?
Kenji, you're not wrong.
Can we send all the insults from around the world to Pakistan? Actually, no, that would be
No, they don't need that.
No, they don't.
They don't need that.
No, it's just like maybe we could get the secular atheist activists out of, like, we could do an exchange. But then I'm like, what am I talking about? We're putting women in Pakistan in danger.
Well, not only that, a lot of these incels that are in the Western countries would last literally one day in Karachi before they ran screaming back to San Diego or Gary, Indiana, or wherever else they're from.
Honestly, you're not wrong. And Music Guy in the chat was basically saying, and this country has nuclear capabilities. Chihaya is saying, a tale of two conservative states. Sindh in Pakistan aims to marry everybody off at 18. Tamil Nadu in India aims to lift the minimum education of the state to undergraduation. Wait, what does that mean? Undergraduation?
Maybe graduation requirements or something like that. Or that the minimum age isn't high school graduation. Maybe it's like 8th grade or something.
Ghost Bunny is saying Pakistan is really trying to find a creative way to infringe on human rights. Oh, and I wanted to share something personal that's a little interesting. So earlier this week, before I even saw this news, I reached out to Harris Sultan and Ali Rizvi separately, because I was like, can you please explain to me, like, what it is about Sindh that it seems like all the worst news that comes out of Pakistan, or the majority of the worst news, comes from Sindh. And Harris Sultan actually did a video on his YouTube channel about this, trying to answer this exact question. And Ali Rizvi was like, I'm not even sure what's going on. And Harris Sultan posited that partly it's because it's more of a rural state, more of a rural society, and also maybe some of the influence of the kind of Barelvi Sufism in the area. But both of them were like, I'm not even sure what's going on over there. It's very intense.
It's in the water.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I guess if you know, let us know in the comment section if you have any ideas. Anyways, we do need to go to the next news. By the way, before we move to the next news, I don't Ramaya. Hey, what is your profile picture? I feel like it's not appropriate. I don't know what it is, but I feel like we're gonna get a strike or something if we keep highlighting you. Change your profile picture so I can highlight your comments. Anyways,
It's an ancient Sanskrit symbol that was co-opted by the bad people from World War II.
that's not what I'm talking.
Oh,
Rivka, I know that you're talking about random Buddhist guy. I know that, of course.
sorry, I thought R and
No.
R. I got confused.
No. Okay.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.